Well, Mark Weisbrot is the co-director of the Center for Economic and Policy Research in Washington. He joins us now from there. Thank you for being with us. So let's start then with the question, I suppose, that everyone is asking, whether the possibility of a Greek exit from the Eurozone if Greece defaults, is that realistically going to happen?
Well, not anytime soon. I mean, you saw the June 5th deadline, which was supposed to be a serious deadline, passed, and nothing happened. And this is because the European authorities, including the German government, the ECB, of course the IMF, none of them want to see either a default or a Greek exit the euro. What they're trying to do, I think, and this has been evident since February, is undermine and wreck the Greek economy, so that they can undermine political support for Tsipras and the Syriza government. And this is pretty clear because they don't have any other way to resolve the problem from their point of view. They don't want Greece out of the euro. That's very clear. They don't want to push them out. And also the United States government, which is putting a lot of pressure on Europe as well, doesn't want that to happen. And they don't want this government either. So that's really what they're trying to do. It's basically a strategy of regime change. And they've been fairly successful so far. They've pushed the economy into recession simply from the European Central Bank cutting off first of all its main line of credit on February 4th, and then restricting credit to the economy since then, and then of course making unreasonable demands so that the problems cannot be resolved.
But the fact that a Greek exit is being talked about so much now, it says something, doesn't it, about the brinkmanship that's going on here with both sides? And do you get the sense that the Greeks feel that they have the upper hand here? I mean, they seem to be feeling that things can't get any worse. Let's just take our chances here with this.
Well, things can get worse. I mean, the economy was supposed to grow by 2.5% this year, and it would have, if not for the fact that the European Central Bank basically pushed it into recession. And I think there's one sense in what you're saying is true, and that is that the other side, whatever you want to call them, the Troika, the European authorities, they really are bluffing, because they're not going to do anything that forces in the immediate future, like at the end of this month, like they're saying the time is running out. They are not going to force Greece out of the euro, and therefore their only real strategy is, if you look at it logically, is to continue to negotiate while they undermine the economy and hope that they can get a new government that will do what they tell them. And they've really got responsibility. I mean, this is 6 years of depression now, and whose fault is it? I mean, it's really clear that it's the European authorities that caused this to go on for so long, and that, you know, pushed 25%, 26% of the labor force into unemployment. It wasn't the Greek government's choices that did this. These choices were made by the European authorities. So they're really responsible for this, and even the IMF has pretty much admitted that.
But if we to talk about if a Greek exit were to happen, what sort of impact would that happen? Would that have not just on Greece, but on the European economies, and would that set a precedent?
It would definitely set a precedent, and that's one reason that the European authorities and the United States don't want this to happen. And I don't want to leave the U.S. out of it, because the German government pays a lot of attention and generally does what the United States wants on matters of foreign policy that are very important. I mean, I think Merkel by herself, she wouldn't push them out either, because she doesn't want as her legacy to be the politician that forced Greece out of the Eurozone and maybe destroyed the Eurozone. And that is a possibility, of course, if they leave the Eurozone. There are numerous scenarios you can imagine in which the Eurozone is greatly weakened and eventually falls apart. So she doesn't want that, and the IMF doesn't want it. They don't even want a default. You know, when Argentina defaulted to them in 2003, they just rolled over their debt within a week and pretended they didn't default at all. They don't want that precedent either. So for all of those reasons, they don't really have the nuclear weapon that they're pretending to have to force the Greek government to cut pensions. You know, they've already cut pensions by almost half the main pension, and most of the pensioners are at or near the poverty level in terms of their pension. 700 euros is the average pension.
Good to get your perspective on this, Mark Weisbrot in Washington. Thanks for your time.